Now we're going to cover a couple of the hot topics to make sure that you have a really well-rounded understanding of this. So Hannah, what's the biggest mistake PMs make when using Claude Code for product work?
I think the biggest mistake is that people give up too early. Like, I think like learning anything new, it takes some time to learn how to use Claude effectively, to get really good at using Claude Code. And like you saw, building out this type of a context repository is not something that you're going to be able to do overnight. And so I think people try it for like a day, they don't get good results, and they're like, oh, like this isn't for me. I've spent now like 1,500 hours in Claude, and I'm still iterating on my setup and improving it literally every single day.
And with the pace that this team ships at, they're constantly adding in new features, new things. And so just staying on the top of it, there's a lot to be done in terms of that constant iteration. So we've talked about Claude. There's Claude, there's ChatGPT, there's Cursor, there's Cowork. When should PMs be using which?
I think there's not like a right or a wrong answer, although for most advanced PM work, you should be using some type of a coding agent. I think for chat, it's generally just if you need a quick answer that doesn't need like super high context. Otherwise, ideally, you're really building a context repository that you can use, that you can leverage with any coding agent.
If a PM only has 2 hours this weekend, what steps should they take to set up Claude Code?
So what I like to recommend for people is that the single biggest piece of leverage you have is freeing up your time to learn. Like, I think especially right now, the most important thing that we can be doing is learning. And so if I had 2 hours this weekend, my question would be, what can I do to create 6 hours for myself next week? And I would find something to automate so that I can free up 6 hours to go learn things. And so generally, that's what I recommend for people is you should be trying to carve out at least an hour a day to just play with AI. And in order to have that hour a day, you need to automate work in order to free up your time so that you can learn and also help to up-level your teams.
Amazing. What's underhyped versus overhyped in AI for PMs?
I think that underhyped is following your curiosity. So I feel like there is a lot of pressure to always be on top of the exact latest news, like the exact latest release, and get really good at whatever is being posted online on a given day. I think that we're all going to have a lot more fun and learn better if you're following the things that you're curious about. And so, if AI evals don't get you out of bed in the morning, like don't start there. Like start with automating something that frees up your time, or start with, if you love design, like start playing with prototyping. And then, I think that the other thing that I think is underhyped is building expertise in one area. So I think right now a lot of people are very shallow at like many different things, but it actually does take time and investment to like really learn a topic. And so I would say the other underhyped thing is spending the time to go deep, even if that means maybe you're not learning some of these other areas right now.
You've said Claude Code is the most misleading name in AI. Why? I
think because it's not just for coding, which I hope is what everyone took away from this podcast episode. While I do code in Claude Code, most of my time is not spent coding. It's spent writing docs or doing analysis or building local HTML prototypes for my team or other types of prototypes, which actually we didn't get to show on this episode. I had a really fun one built. But I think it is not just for coding, and it's not just for people who are technical. Anyone, like my operations partners are also spending all day in Claude. They're contributing to our repository.
Today's episode is brought to you by Jira Product Discovery. If you're like most product managers, you're probably in Jira, tracking tickets and managing the backlog. But what about everything that happens before delivery? Jira Product Discovery helps you move your discovery, prioritization, and even road mapping work out of spreadsheets and into a purpose-built tool designed for product teams. Capture insights, prioritize what matters, and create roadmaps you can easily tailor for any audience. And because it's built to work with Jira, everything stays connected from idea to delivery. Used by product teams at Canva, Deliveroo, and even The Economist. Check out why and try it for free today at Atlassian.com/product-discovery. That's Atlassian.com/product-discovery. Jira Product Discovery. Build the right thing. I hope you enjoyed that short clip. You can check out the full episode here.